Hi everyone, this is your Aussie stamper Anne Lewis from Anne's Paperworks. You can find me at annespaperworks.com.au. Today I'm really excited to bring you the first video in the series of Keeping It Simple. This is such a quick and easy project. I'm going to be showing you how to create large non-standard envelopes using Stampin' Up's envelope punch board and a sheet of Designer Series paper which is 12 by 12 inches. Designer Series paper is just patterned cardstock that comes in a paper pack, and all the papers coordinate, which makes it so easy to use in projects. The paper I'm using today is retired and comes from the Carried Away Designer Series paper pack. This is one of the ways that I use up my considerable paper stash, making non-standard envelopes, whether they be big or small. The size of your paper and the scoring measurements are already worked out for you by the envelope punch board. My card is 5 1/4 by 7 1/4, and I have checked out the guide, and it says here the closest one that I can find is 5 1/2 by 7 1/2. Now I have pre-cut my cardstock as it says here at 10 1/2 inches by 10 1/2 inches, and I'll also be scoring at 4 1/2 inches. Now just remember that, 4 1/2 inches. So that's what we're going to be making, is that envelope. So here's my 10 1/2 inches by 10 1/2 inches. Now you only have to use that 4 1/2 inch measurement once. And I'll show you why that actually is. Now you're going to line up the left hand edge of your paper at 4 1/2 inches, so there's the 4 1/2 inches mark, and you're going to just make sure it's accurate. You're going to punch and you're going to score. Now this is a very big envelope, and your envelope punch board score mark will just run out, but that won't worry us in the least. And then we're going to turn this counterclockwise, and we're going to line this score guide, see that point there, on that score mark that we just made. So it's lined up here. Now if you go back to 4 1/2 inches, you can see it's going to be wrong. So you're lining it up with the score line, not the 4 1/2 inches. So we're going to punch and score. You're going to rotate it again. You're going to line up the score guide with the previous score line. Now I'm trying to do it a little harder than I normally do, but you do have to be a little careful that you don't rip the paper. I'm pretty sure I punched that. So we're going to line this up again, punch and score. Oops. Oh no. I'll put my little bone folder back in its little carry place here. Now I will just fold this over. I'll use my bone folder to reinforce those fold lines. I always put the little flaps in first. Now I would like this to be corner rounded, and there's actually a reverse punch here that does that. So I just slide it into the back of the envelope punch board, and I might do this one as well, but it's a personal preference whether you do both. Now you can see the envelopes coming together. Now I just use snail, and I just run it down this flap here. And there's my envelope, and doesn't it look gorgeous with that double-sided pattern there that coordinates? Now let's see if it fits our extra large card. Easy as. Now the products that I have used today are available at my online store. If you don't have a current demonstrator, I would love to assist you. Contact me if you would like me to be your demonstrator and if you would like to receive a free catalogue. Don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions, and leave some feedback for me so that I know you have dropped by. Thank you.